And we're back.
How R. Kelly get convicted now when we had evidence at our house in like 2000 and when I graduated, 2002? I have evidence at my house.
He stopped making hits. I'm gonna tell you right now. I mean, there's no getting around, and I hate to say it like that, but I'm like, there are some people that do bad stuff, and then because they're popular, you remember that Boondocks episode? It was like, God, that was at the height of it, where they're like, yo, y'all like this man's music, so y'all are letting him get away with stuff. But the other flip side of that is, as those hits decline, all of a sudden, and we see it with a lot of our favorites. I'm not gonna name a lot of names, but as them hits decline, then people be like, hey, dog, you a horrible person. Be like, oh. So, yeah, that's all that is. R. Kelly. And R. Kelly knew what was going on. That man was throwing out hits left and right. That man made a DVD soap opera that went on for hours because he's like, that man was trying to stay out of jail. He was trying to stay out of jail. That's it. So.
Terrible.
Oh, that was absolutely horrible. Absolutely horrible.
I do like about R. Kelly is his album Black Panties that was produced by Tim Ned. That was an awesome album. I have to admit.
Yeah, you know what I feel when all this stuff happens, all I be feeling bad for. Well, not all. I always feel bad for the victims, but then the flip side of it is whether it's a R. Kelly, and I'm gonna just say Bill Cosby because that's the other one.
That's the other person you were talking about.
That's the other person you named. No. I mean, there are other people that I was gonna name, but I was gonna stay out of it. Like, T.I. is going through his stuff right now, but it is what it is. My whole thing is these people don't exist in a vacuum. There's a team of people that contribute, people that we've known, people that whatever, and it's like, and they not privy to what goes on in these people's lives. They was like, yo, I was just trying to get a shot. I produced some stuff. I helped make some stuff, and it turns out I made some stuff for a scumbag, and I didn't know. And now that stuff's gonna get buried, and that's just all it is. Like, there's no getting around it.
Man, it's a long time coming. Should have happened.
The comedy album I had with Bill Cosby was shelved. Like, we worked hard.
Really?
Okay, Bill would have liked me. I was way too young. He would have told me to pull my pants up. He would have been like, "Get the hell out the thing. Pull your pants up. Stop talking gibberish." You're just an old crotchety man right now.
Talks about the youth, especially the black youth, because we're black and ugly as ever. However, I stay down to my socks. It's another episode, and we're back. My name is Avery, like a very nice guy. Yep, Avery, like a very nice guy. And I'm here with my brother, Jess Devon. He's our co-host.
That's me.
Devon, ladies and gentlemen. And if you want to be a part of the Humble Hive, you've got to like, share, and subscribe. You see, that's the thing about this. You got to press like, share, and subscribe for our YouTube people. And also, you can subscribe on really pretty much anywhere where you have podcasts or you listen to podcasts. In My Humble Opinion podcast, thank you for joining us again today. Now, as we do, we like to put a spotlight on, Houston artists and everything that is Houston. And, when we talk about music, we like to listen to rap and R&B like any other popular genre. And, sometimes like any other popular genre, the market can get quite redundant. But don't you really want something better? Yeah, I did that. So this next artist answers that question with releases such as Better Days and Avada.
Pronounce it right, man.
Avada Kedavra, which translates to "let the thing be destroyed," or the original version of abracadabra.
Avada Kedavra.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I understand, He's definitely destroying beats and making magic out of music. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have a guest with us today. There's one thing that he did say that I liked. I liked a lot of it, but I had to write these down. I do. When Pinocchio was honest, he retains the hatred. That was pretty nice. The nigga said, break a leg. Man, their standards are low. I hit the stage of quadriplegic when I'm seen at a show. I love that. So yes, something better, ladies and gentlemen. Something better.
Peace. How y'all doing? Thank y'all for having me, man. Thank you.
We are excellent. We are excellent. First off, just the name, something better. Like, explain where it comes from, because it's obvious, like something better. But where does that come from?
Hey, I'm gonna say this off top. I got the most marketable name in hip hop. Nah, all jokes aside. So on my first project, Exhale, it's like the first thing I ever did. I was like 22. I used to go by the name SB the Villain. And so as I matured in age and my outlook on life, as I kept getting exposed to more experiences and cultures outside, just going through music, because music saved my life damn near. The goal is always progress. I've always wanted to grow. I've always wanted to be the best at whatever I put my hands on. I've always wanted to become better with myself. The first track on that project is called Algo Mejor, which, you know, when you translate it in Spanish, it would be something better. And then I stylized it, and I was with, at the time, an old friend of mine, Pastor Keith, who produced the first project, and we were driving, and he was like, why don't you go by something better since you're always trying to do something better with your time? I was like, that makes a Mac. So as I matured, it became more of a mission statement more than a name. And it's easy for me to stand by because every day I wake up, I want to achieve. I want to become a better person. That's just how I was raised.
Now, the other thing too is it appears like naming, the wordplay and the naming of things is very important to you, whether it's Better Days, whether it's Avada Kedavra.
He released them both in 2021. That's what I was trying to get at. But you know, you
yeah, no, you was stumbling.
I was butchering it. I was struggling.
Got it. You one of the people that got it and got the meaning down. Thank you.
Hey. He did. He got the meaning down. He was correct on what it was. I got to be honest. That's how I knew how to pronounce it, because you gave us the abracadabra. All right. So, but even Malaysia.
Yes.
Talk about where you're from. When you're talking about these names, one, where is this coming from, and how does it affect the craft? Like, why is it so important the way that we're naming some of these albums and where you hail from?
Oh, right. Nah, it's okay. So first question, just so I'm clear, is like, why is it so important to represent Malaysia?
Yes.
Woo. It's a long one. Okay, let me think, boy, because it's a long answer. I'm trying to shorten it. Do y'all want the long answer?
We'll take the long answer.
We'll take the long.
It's a podcast. We got a plenty of tape.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. All right. So the long answer, when I say music taught me how to talk, like, and socialize and not be awkward, and like I literally learned through hip hop, that's exactly what it means. So growing up, I was really outcasted, and I did not like where I was living. So imagine everywhere I go, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't have peace. I just don't go, I can't blend nowhere. And I'm not a person to act like something I'm not. So in my head, my 18 to 17-year-old head, I was just like, okay, why don't I just make a place? Why don't I just make something and give myself a home and build it? And like I said, same thing on my name. As I got older, it took on its own thing. It didn't become a brand until my first album. And I was looking at places I've always wanted to travel consistently. I've always looked at places, like, I have a thing for aesthetics and art. That's something I've always thrived in, is art. So I looked up Malaysia, and Malaysia is fucking gorgeous. Yeah. I was like, whatever my future look like is gonna look like that shit. And then, you know, like I said, my name was SB the Villain. I said, I can't copy Malaysia. That's bullshit. So I said, I'm gonna just take the AIN off of Villain, and I'm gonna say Malaysia. And this is gonna be everything I stand by. And then the list of morals and ethics I follow to a T. That I don't bend under those, which represents the V, which is 5. So, you know, and that's kind of how it started. It just started as, okay, when I have nowhere else to go, I have my goals to believe in. I have this to put faith in. And over time, it became more of a mission statement. Then it became a brand. Then it became, now I want it to become a literal city, like a universe for people to welcome itself into, which is why I call it a society. Like it's literally like just its own microcosm within Houston. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Now, given that you stated that you were, outcasted as a youngin, do you think that helps you in order for you to develop your creative mind state?
Yeah, because you learn not to give a fuck. I ain't go to prom. I ain't have all the regular normal experiences regular motherfuckers had. I didn't give a fuck about shit. You eventually just get used to it. And you develop a certain fire and defiance about you, which you just have an utmost understanding of what you like before you know who you are. Does that make sense?
Yeah. It makes perfect sense. I mean, developing that I don't give a fuck attitude, especially being outcasted in our community. I'm sure you're not going to tell us where that was, but I'm just saying being outcasted and
I was outcasted everywhere. I was in the suburbs, people looking like me. It was weird seeing people who look like me not embrace me until and really try to get to know me until I started doing music. It felt weird. I was like, this is corny. It was like I can name a handful like that before people knew I did music. You know what I'm saying? So I'm very aware. I had a good sense of what real is and what fake is at an early age.
Yeah. Now the name change too, where you're like, all I keep thinking about is we were talking about this in the last episode. We were talking about the Wu-Tang show on Hulu because we're a huge fan of Wu-Tang over here.
Yeah.
And so it really highlights the importance that all these young men as they're growing up are coming up in the Nation of Islam, and the Nation of Islam is very centered on names and their importance. Even to the point where I remember reading an article, after ODB died, Reza was like, I kind of take a little bit of blame for it because I should have never let him call himself Old Dirty Bastard. We should have let him stay calling himself like he was a prince. But when he chose the name Old Dirty Bastard, he moved into this other realm. And I was like, oh, they take it super serious, in terms of their naming, to the point where he was guilty about it after his death. Was there a reason for the change going from villain to Better Days?
Yeah, I cut back on violence in my raps. I used to I was an angry nigga. I was the happiest when I created. So I was like, I'm very peaceful. I'm very good at diffusing. The moment that there's no return, it's hell for everybody. You're gonna have to commit. And so as I matured, once again, I took on the persona of a villain. My first influences in music was MF Doom was my first influence, next to T.I., next to Earl Sweatshirt and Tyler and Joey Badass. These are my 5 people, and we all like MF Doom. So I studied artists for 5 years before I made an attempt to rap. And so I played the villain until I could come out and lead. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And our villains are the hardest working people in the world and who overcome the most adversity. Think about it. The villain is always just a misguided person who actually means well, but can't really make it happen.
Yeah.
Perception never, it never changes no matter what he does. He's always going to be the first person to get pointed out with some shit crack off, even if it's not his fault. And that was my life. So as my life started to transition, I changed my name because I came of age to a point and had enough experience and understood different things and was exposed to different things. During the summer, I used to go hang out with other people's cultures. Let's talk about the Nation of Islam. Personally, hung out with a family every day and learn how shit's supposed to go. And word communication I can apply to my house, just trying to become something better, exposing myself to other things, to some sense of normalcy. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's where name change come in. And also, your words become things. Your thoughts become things. I can't play that role anymore if I expect myself to grow. You see? And
no, that makes perfect sense. So then the switch, it was over from this kind of hardworking, outcasted villain to
angry ass rap.
I can see so it's almost like, I'm a hardworking, outcasted villain, but now I can see a future. Things are better.
Yeah, and I'm still gonna be defiant like a villain is, but it's like I can see other perspectives. Like it's better at this point. Like there does not always have to be just, you know what I'm saying? It's not always punchy. It's not always force involved. It's not always full speed determination, blitzkrieg. You know what I'm saying? It's not always. There's other ways to do things. Is what happened.
Now we
I was
were.
monster, dude.
No. That's perfect because I was like, I like to go into like what goes in behind the thoughts of any creative. Like, what are they thinking as they're forming these things? And a lot of times, it's things like being outcasted or name changes and things like. I mean, it's an effect on all that stuff. So that kind of stuff to me is always interesting. You have put out a string of music, especially as of recently. It was like 2018. You had some stuff. It seemed like there was a break, and then boom, it was just album after album after single after album after album. So we were talking earlier. We were talking earlier, and I think it's interesting because you talked about John Doe. John Doe when he was saying, you know, if it doesn't make sense, that and I like to talk to Houston artists about the business side of music. So, just for the audience, just tell us what we were talking about right before we started the interview.
So shout out John fucking Doe. We were talking about how developing an audience, like I had 10 albums. I'm by the end of the year, I will have 12 albums out for everybody to touch within the process of making another. And then I'm gonna be done, right? We were talking about how the effort needs to match up with the results at some point. And like I said, you don't blame no one else for your own success. The numbers is cool, but I'm not satisfied. So I had to redirect myself and be like, okay, the business ain't being handled properly. I'm not marketing myself right. Let me think about this shit. I'm dropping way too much music to not get the certain response granted, and every project is better than the last one. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when I heard John Doe say it, boy, smart. Man said, at the end of the day, this is a business. You have to make it make sense if you want to live off this shit, or you're just doing it to be doing it. You're gonna be stuck.
Absolutely.
You have to evolve. You have to evolve because the game is forever changing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I said, okay, I'm gonna slow down. I'm gonna make all these albums, and that's the reason of the string of albums. I'm gonna make a whole bunch of albums, every producer different, and we're gonna drop them. And then next year, I'm not doing shit but promoting them and pushing them. I haven't been pushing shit to the natural, to the quality, or what's the word? I haven't been maximizing on the opportunity at hand. I haven't been maximizing the production of it. I haven't been maximizing the branding I can do. I haven't been maximizing or capitalizing. That's the word, capitalizing off the time I have when I drop the music. My rollouts ain't been as sharp as they could be. I put a lot of effort into it, but it's half-assed based on what I'm capable of for me and what I know I should be getting. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
it makes absolute sense.
Why do you think that was that you behaved like that before, where you weren't capitalizing, and what was the major change that made you want to capitalize?
Well, like I said, it wasn't that I've always taken this shit serious. Sometimes my friends really be telling me to chill the fuck out. I be up for 24 hours writing, trying to figure stuff out, making plans. So it's more in the sense of like how I was doing it. This year I realized like a small action can have a big impact based on how you do it. The execution part, it wasn't the promo, it wasn't the marketing, it was how I was doing it, what type of content I was putting out, how my videos looked on Instagram, who shot them, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I had to go through and look at the small niche details that catch people's attention. Shit, colors, colors do something to the brain. Okay, what visual content? I see the visuals or the snippets I put out get more interaction faster than these things. Okay, what songs did I make? Because I'm always gonna stay true to myself that get the most numbers. I see certain things when I convey a certain fire or certain beat or certain emotion or certain wordplay, these get the ones they need. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So always staying true to myself, but understanding that, okay, you have to have something to show for it. And the shift came when I just stopped recently. Like I couldn't make no music. It was in the process of moving to this apartment I'm in now. I had COVID 3 times, bro. I literally car was fucking up. Couldn't do anything, couldn't make no bread. I was starving every day. I was catching blessings. I thank the Lord for all my peers and anyone who helped me out in the last 3 months. You feel me?
Yeah.
Because I was ass out right now. So those things, I had a lot of time to myself to think and really look at everything. And when you look at yourself and it's quiet and you can't move, you know what I'm saying? You can't move, you realize a lot of shit, and you retain a lot of shit, and you're able to sit in your thoughts. And that was one of the things I came up with. I'm like, I'm going hard, I'm not working smart. You have to be smart.
Yeah, and like you stated, when you're when you're in that solitary place, you really do get to look inside yourself because you don't have any distractions. I mean, there's something to be said when you're in dire straits in life because you either excel or fail. Either way, you're welcome.
I'm on Twitter. You're gonna have to kill me. Kill me. Maybe that won't even work. You're gonna have to aim high.
Yeah.
So, I mean, beyond that, was it just as you're sitting there in that period of self-reflection, was it just focused on music? Was it focused on your entire life? Was music the first thing that was popping up to you when you're like, I'm going about this the wrong kind of way, or
yeah.
How was it?
Yeah, music shapes my life. It's funny, music is like the most progressive thing in my life right now. I'm trying to balance it out with my personal life. I had to do a lot of maturity work, and I was already mature. I had to do a lot of balance, like taking care of myself. Like, I'm 26 years old, dude, get your shit together. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Like I'm hell bent on progress. I can't represent progress if I'm like, my life don't reflect balance. And so there's gonna be those times where it's imbalanced, but now that I know what I want and pinpoint, it's been easier to knock out my goals. In that reflection, music was first. I said, okay, what's going on? You're dope. Be smart now and think about what you could do better from the last album. And I do that with every album, but this time I did it differently. Okay, so this, and you're capable of this, and you're doing this. Why is it consistent? And I had to pick apart what was consistent. When you have all that time to yourself, you're not just thinking on your feet, you're thinking at everything in like a 360. And it was, like I said, I had more time. Then I thought about my life next. And I was looking at my life, I was looking at where I was living, I was looking at how everything was. I was like, okay, I'm busting my ass, and I'm working smart, I'm doing smart shit. I'm not being as sharp as I know I can be.
Yeah.
I'm not patient. I'm not being patient enough. I'm not interacting with others enough. I'm not picking the right people. It's like, why would you throw fish? I mean, why would you throw it's like throwing bait on a hook into a pond, right? And you want to catch a shark. It's one shark in 50,000 piranhas. So find another pond instead of trying to swim in the same pond, trying to make an impact. It's like being a shark in a fish tank. You're not going nowhere.
Yeah.
And that's all the stuff that came to my head. That's really what it was. I just had a whole bunch of time to reflect and just break myself down. And so the upbringing of all the albums of this year, every year I try to do that. I try to be like, okay, if I drop 2 albums this year, I'm doing 4 next year, but this is a 3-year plan I made in the spawn of like a month because I just racked my head on it so much. I want it so bad. I'm gonna make sure I achieve everything I set out to achieve, even if it means stopping to get the chess move I want. You know what I'm saying?
That makes sense. Because the other thing about it too is what you're talking about when you're creating your albums, and you hear artists talk about it. There's I just forgot his name. I'm gonna remember it later. But how do you even measure like the improvement on an album to album? Like you're saying, hey, I just did this album. The next one I'm going to make better. How do you even go about that process? And how do you judge whether the album is better or not?
I think about where I am in life. My albums are a reflection of my feelings. You're gonna catch some sort of glimpse of if I'm okay or not. I'm very transparent. So the album reflects where my mood is. About Kedavra, I was having trauma issues. I had flashbacks and shit. I couldn't function. That album was the only way I could function. I wasn't doing shit but making music. That's it. I couldn't do nothing else. I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep properly without having flashbacks in my sleep. It was a bunch of shit. And so, like, making that album, shout out Rod Lava, literally saved my life. He just let me rock. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't do shit else. I was losing my mind. And it was in the freeze. That album was written in 2 weeks. Whole thing.
During the freeze?
Yeah, I wrote the majority of it just sitting down and writing. I used to write 7 times a day. So when I'm really in a bad mood, like, or I can't function, I go to music. And so how I can tell where I'm getting better for the next album is how much I'm getting, or how my outlook is changing on life, how more human am I becoming versus just numb. How am I thinking, or how am I structuring this bar compared to the last time I structured this rhyme scheme? Okay, how's my delivery? How's my, how am I conveying this message? Is it easier to follow? Okay, can I hold attention longer? And then how did I hold attention here? Okay, how detailed in my vulnerability in the music and comfortable I am talking about my emotions? Avada Kedavra in that Forbidden Fruit song, that 15-minute catastrophe, which I don't know how people like it, but people like it. Literally is the closest I've ever been to being that transparent about where I was at and what happened. Those are key albums. Like that's probably the rawest I've ever been. So that's why I say that's how I grade my album. How comfortable am I with myself showing different colors? How comfortable am I trying different sound styles? Okay, how versatile am I becoming? Okay, how sharp is my pen in small time? And that's who am I becoming as a person? And that lets me.
Yeah, that's why I kind of wanted to ask that, because when you watch the progression of the albums, it was, he canceled now, but he had a great, Louis C.K. was saying one time, he was like, they were like, how you be a good comedian? And he goes, I look at the night, like my best night, and the best laugh I have, and I array, like you want to end on your best joke. And he goes, and once I get that's the best laugh I've ever gotten. I erase everything before that joke, and that's now my first joke. And now everything has to be better than that. And then I go all the way to the end. And I said, I thought about that when I was going through, and I'm listening, because when you talk about Abracadabra, that 15-minute catastrophe, it's literally working up. Like, you see as you're going and you're progressing the album, like, I saw this last album, this is the best thing, now erase it. And I'm starting from right here. And working my way up. So now it's almost like that Office Space joke where he's like, every time you see me, I'm having the worst day of my life. But it's like the reverse, where he's like, every time you see me now, I am going to try to be better. Like that thing you heard me do that you liked before, I'm erasing it. All right, so if you're going with that process of like destroying and rebuilding, do you ever feel there's a danger of getting like too personal, like getting too deep, like I'm gonna go too far in this creative process?
Oh, I have to watch it. Forbidden Fruit, the 15-minute song was short. I cut it short.
Wow.
I took a lot of details out.
Ah, okay.
Why'd you take a lot of details
I would have
out?
ended. It would have been bad. Because the people involved, like people involved in that song, like I said, like like my music reflects, like even the wildest punchline that I have is gonna reflect some sort of part of me. You know what I'm saying? Like, or some shit I've seen. There's a lot of stuff I don't get to talk about that I be wanting to talk about so bad, but I know it's not the time, and I don't have the means or the leverage or the peace with said community or people to play it properly like I need to, with the force it needs to come with. So I just have to take the L. So yeah, I be feeling like that a lot, because shit be too real sometimes, or shit be too dark. And I understand it's not just me listening to the music.
Yeah.
And I gotta go out and talk to people and make sure they don't look at me like I'm crazy. Like, you know, like, so yeah, I'm very mindful. I've always been like that, but I'm more mindful of what I say because not only in music, but in my life, I'm having a lot of more, my memory is sharper than what it's ever been. I'm growing as a person. The things in my life that did scare me don't scare me at all. So I'll be scaring myself sometimes. So I'll be having to keep quiet on things. So yes, I am wary of what I say because the consequences could affect people around me. It could rehash things and welcome shit into my life I don't need. Yeah, it's
Okay. No, it definitely makes sense. Now tell us about what the album, because you're saying like you got one album that's going to be released at the end of the year and then you're stopping.
Well, it's not really. I have 2 albums. So I got an EP. I got an EP that dropped on the 30th, produced by me and Run CT. I picked up production soon, so that's next for me, but that'll come out on the 30th. And that's something I did for my birthday. It was just fun. We made that shit in 2 to 3 days. Just rapping. Like that's strictly for people that love bars and rhyme schemes. That was for me. And then I have an album called Pain Made Me Better, which I've been working on for 3 years, actually. So it's 3 years. It's like the big album. Like it's probably I know it's definitely my best, well put together album. Sonically, rapping wise, production wise, song structure, feeling, everything. I'm gonna find it hard to top this one. I can say that for myself. And then there's an EP I'm working on now. I'm 4 tracks into, which I might as well tell the people about, called Prognost, which sets people up for the album. It's like a mixtape feel. It's seven tracks, and it's just I grabbed some of the people I'm fans of, and I still gotta grab some more people and get some other stuff done. But we 4 tracks into that, and that's gonna be amazing too. So that is gonna basically warm people up, like dropping pre-albums for the album.
Yeah, that is good.
Now, I guess my other thing too is then how do you decide what's ready? Because I find it interesting. Like it's like you've crafted albums during the middle of a winter storm, and you're like, "Yo, I was in the storm. I made this album. I got to get that out." And then, yeah, I get that, but then it's also like Forbidden Fruit, that 15-minute song that came out in 2021. It was almost like even the way it's released is like I'm not even waiting for an album for this. This is coming out. Like this song.
I was sitting on it. I was gonna throw up. Like my body will tell me. My instincts and my body, like those. So let's say, let's take Avada Kedavra and Forbidden Fruit. Avada Kedavra we had worked on for 2 years. Like production was 1 year, and so that was something we had been trying to do for years. So there was some shit in between of that. I'm not gonna go too deep into it, that we had to rectify and get done first before I could come together, and it was perfect timing. He captured a moment where I was out of my mind, and I got to formulate an album. And that let me know, because my body, before I released it, those 2 things, Forbidden Fruit, before I released it, I was throwing up, I was sick, I was getting sick almost every week. I had COVID 3 times. I was like, it's time for me to let this shit go. Like my albums and music is a reflection of where I'm at. Like, and when I'm emotionally connected, I'm very emotionally connected to my projects, whether it's clothing, designs, merch, music, anything I put my hands on, I'm invested in. I don't waste time. And so it hurt my feelings. It was hurting me. Like I was losing my mind. And when I released it, it was a breath of fresh air. So my body and health is going to tell me the way I'm treating myself, how green am I eating every day? Like basic shit. Like, or am I working way too hard? Like I've gone 2 days and not ate before just working. Just trying to get done, and my friends have had to pull me aside and be like, yo, like, look what you achieved, calm down, go to sleep. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So my body and my spirit is gonna tell me, like, I feel like I'll have to throw up. It's about that time to put it out. Or I'm just paranoid all the time. Like Avada Kedavra, I was like, I want it done. Like I don't care anymore. I want it out, you know? I pushed the date for it actually. The date it came out, I pushed it forwards, like a month forwards.
Oh, okay. So even with that though, with music being that tied into, I mean, literally like your health, are you worried about this next year of just sitting down and working the business side and maybe not having that creative outlet?
Hell yeah, bro. I'm gonna be hot. I'm gonna be mad as fuck, but it's for the better. I'm like, discipline, Nathan. Sometimes you gotta do what you have to do what you want.
Yeah.
I'm always gonna be writing. I be telling the homies all the time, like Mike Garza, Ross Tabella, anyone you see me around or tag a lot, like those are my homies. I be telling them, they be like, man, I'm probably gonna take a break. They be like, shut up.
Sure, buddy. Yeah.
No one believes me. I'm just like, all right, bro, okay. All right. And then like you gonna hit me in there. I got an album drop. I thought you said you was gonna quit. So
Yeah.
I came to the understanding that it's I'm always gonna keep my pen sharp. My blade is always gonna be sharp because that's just the cloth I'm cut from. That's the hip hop I was raised by. But like I won't be producing. Like shit will just be being produced. Does that make sense? It won't ever come out.
I got you.
Until I'm satisfied with the last 5 to 6 years of work I've done. You feel me? And I feel like I've drained and squeezed that dry. I don't sit on stuff enough. I don't let shit marinate. And I finally understood you have to just squeeze the life out of shit to get the full extent of it. I'm never satisfied. So, and I have a patience issue sometimes. I have to remind myself, I just dropped the album, find my 4 tracks into the next one. I don't stop. You feel me? I don't stop. I don't waste time. Yeah. My brain is always the next thing. So I have to be more patient. So it's one, yes, I am worried about it, but I think it's going to be good for me because it's going to teach me how to like be more patient with myself in progress and let things come to me. All practicing attracting instead of going for it, achieving and starting over, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Now, one of the other things too, I mean, this is still music related, but it does a lot with when we're talking about the merch and we're talking about these album covers, the art. Are you drawing these? Is somebody else, like, where is this aspect coming from?
So the artwork, right? So all of my artwork, if I didn't do it myself, I've had someone take my idea out of my head and draw it, illustrate it, or take the photo, and I've done the edits. Or I've literally if they're all art pieces, all original art pieces. So which one in particular? Because every one of them has a backstory.
I mean, look, going on, and when you go back and you look, like if you start back at the going back to Exhale, all right. Exhale is literally just a picture of you and it's some flowers, and it just you're like, all right, cool, all right. Then when you come back to 2020, there's one picture, you got Better Days where you're just standing with the camera, and there's a picture, and right after Better Days, you've got Rob and Better, which is a flip. Like there is a lot of augmentation of the picture. It's still involving wildlife. It's still involving plant life. It's still involving, but it's like it's really intricate on the picture. And from that point on, either dealing with weather, like the clouds on Better Days for the instrumental, or this last one, Avada Kavita, it's got the flowers, but you got a sword in your teeth. Like, there is a progression where I'm like, at one point it's like you were just sitting, and then now everything after that point is very action based. So I'm just wondering, what are the thoughts behind a lot of these album covers?
So, all right, so I gotta thank, like I said, I gotta thank for aesthetics and nature, and I'm glad you caught this. No one else asked me these questions. Oh my God, this is so much fun. Right. My inner nerd is coming out. I love these questions. Great. No one has ever asked me this, so congratulations, you get the answer. All right, so check this out. I knew exactly what I was going to do 5 years ahead of time. From Exhale, I knew exactly where I was going, what my direction was, what I was going to name my albums, what they were going to sound like, what I think they'll sound like, probably some of the adversities that might mold it but won't stray too far from the path. So what you're seeing is I started with Exhale. Before Exhale, I worked on Exhale for 5 years, and I studied and worked on my craft longer than that. So exhale is, okay, I'm grounded. So here's my face. Here's what you got the beat. You got a Polaroid photo, and I did like the extra edits around it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's my signature. How I came in is how I'm gonna finish. That's gonna be consistent. So I'm around flowers, right? But I'm crying in the photo. I'm actually crying in the photo. Like, I'm really sad. The place I was in was really bad mentally and physically. But I always found a way to surround myself with something colorful. So that's what the flowers symbolize. So move forward to tired. There's more space around me now. Same orchestra, a little bit darker in life, but it's still flowers. There's more flowers around me, which means I've moved forwards in life with the tired album art. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I did that. Going to do we count Huey and Garvey? Yes, we count Huey and Garvey. Huey and Garvey was fun. That was something I did with Lucas Yates. Shout out Lucas Yates. He did that album art. And then we go to Better Days, right? Better Days, at this point, I'm in a relationship, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm seeing shit differently. I'm seeing people for who they are. I'm a lot sharper in life. So that's why my face is really blank, because I was going through that moment in life, you know, that what the fuck? Okay, I see it now.
Yeah.
And what the fuck, you start picking shit out that you didn't get to see. So I'm squeezing, like, if you notice, I'm black and white. I'm the only thing that's not colored in the photo.
Yeah.
At that point in time, I was the fuck out of me to keep myself happy. So everything around me was all the color I had left.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? It's the midpoint, right? So Better Days, I'm always trying to get to better days. Okay, now that I know what I want and I can see shit for what it is, I'm sharper, I got new experiences, I got people pointing shit out around me finally, like friends. Okay, I'm on the better days now. If you don't fly with me, don't fly with me. So then after Better Days, you got Robin Better. That was fun. that was fun. So you get more into who I am as an MC, right? That's why that photo is a double exposure photo that was taken by Jason Trent. If you look at the photo, it's me outside. The original photo, that's like where I'm inside my own face. I am big on self-reflection. Every night when I get off this phone, before I go to bed and shit, I'm gonna eat and I'm gonna self-reflect and I'm gonna say, okay, what did I do today? What could I do better? And where do I wanna go next? And then repeat. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's a reflection of who I am as a person. So that was what the cover symbolizes. So I'm becoming more self-aware, and it's more nature around me. Through all the foliage, I still have this foresight and I'm still focused. I look more focused. I'm more curious in life about certain things. You know, I'm more self-aware, but it's still cloudy. You know what I'm saying? And then you go to, what's next after that? What's the next thing I did?
You had a Better Days expansion pack with acapellas.
That was tight. That was for hip hop. We did that for hip hop. We love albums. I love albums. I mean, classic hip hop albums. That was tight. We was like, man, fuck all that. We're gonna make 4 new songs, including one from a mixtape DistroKid that let me release. Fuck DistroKid, but I love you niggas. But one of them, there's only one song, it's called Quick and Clean. I did that for Tired. That was 2 years ago. Okay. So yeah, but it's still dope as fuck. We had to add it on there. That was the first song I think me and Rod did that I recorded over his beat. And so that had to make it. And then we're gonna do the instrumentals and the acapellas. And that's because we love Primo. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. I'm gonna meet DJ Premier before I die, and I'm gonna hear him talk. I just want to listen to that man talk. I'll be the beat from Primo and Alchemist. I don't give a fuck. I'm not fulfilled in life until I have those things. I'm not an MC in my head. So that's like my inner nerd. Like my inner nerd came out on those projects, my hip hop nerd. And so that was fun. I did the cover art for those 2, except for the expansion pack part, like the 4 songs. Yeah. That was Rod.
Okay.
And then we moved on to and then you got the clouds, right? So I was starting to elevate as an artist. I was starting to have more of a grasp. Oh, I can do more shit than this. I thought it was just rap I wanted to do. I can do everything. All right, so now we're in the clouds now. There's more, I have an abundance mindset. Then you go to Avada Kedavra, you feel me? Wait till you see the album art, the last album art. That shit gonna be crazy. That's gonna tie it all together. Then you got Avada Kedavra. So at this point, I'm working at Aldi. And I'm getting false falsely fired. I'm like broke. I'm hungry. So that album sounded where my life was. I'm going through heartbreak. I got played. It was a whole bunch of other shit that go on. I was fighting a whole bunch of shit. It was crazy. It was crazy. I was drunk. I was an alcoholic for like a good year. It was crazy.
Heartbreak will do that to you.
It was crazy, man. Man, look, everything I said on Crucio and Avada Kedavra and everything on Forbidden Fruit happened. That's a fact. I'll say that. That happened. Yeah, everything. People thought it was a game. Like, I be trying to tell people, like, if I say, you think I just want to make this shit up? Like, I can say this shit? Like, I got a line on Crucio where I said, the fuck did I say? It still protected you. The evidence, the penalizers tucked away. I put away my pride, trying to empathize. I take fault on my side because I allowed the vibe. I shadow work my ass off, couldn't force it, brutalized. It's nightmares and flashbacks when I'm snoozing. Like, I was being dead ass. Like, we was fighting for real.
Yeah. You poured your heart out on Crucio. And speaking of Crucio, then what made you film the video that way?
Oh, bro, because I was sad as fuck. I literally, we made that video because I couldn't be inside. I couldn't stay in the house. I think I spent more time outside this year than I have in the house in the last 2 years.
Oh, wow.
Anytime I was making so much shit, there's videos that didn't come out. You feel me? I just wanted to make something. I wanted to sharpen the skill. And then on top of that, like, we shot the video like that because that's how I was feeling. If you notice, I look super unclean, and I'm like lost so much weight. I got down to like 185 pounds. Like, I was losing weight a lot. None of my clothes fit me. I didn't have any money to wash my clothes. So like, I was wearing the same jersey. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything in that video captured where I was at. And I was drinking a lot of tea. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of tea. So I had jasmine tea to calm me down. I was having anxiety attacks. So we shot that video as a release. It was fun. It just, the area we picked, I like nature. Nature always calms me down. I've always found comfort in getting lost. So when I'm really, really upset, I just go ghost and I don't tell nobody. That's been a habit. You know what I'm saying? My whole life. So
Now,
you just got to, yeah.
My thing is with Avada Kedavra, that it's a release. You were going through a lot of stuff. What is your mindset as you're creating these last few albums before you?
Niggas up.
You said what now?
I'm gonna fuck these niggas up. That's my mindset. So improve, nigga. You back, nigga. You happy and shit. You smiling, nigga. I don't think, like, I say it all the time. I just started rapping. Like, I've been half-assing. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm dead serious. So with these next albums, like, you get to see me at my best. I don't ever, like, this will be the albums you get to capture me at my best as an artist and as a person. So I'm proud of these. I'm embarrassed of some of them, but I'm proud.
Human nature.
Now, also, I like the fact that you've got this great merchandise campaigns. Like, really I like the sweatshirt. I mean, I like sweatshirts, and I like art, and your album covers are art. Talk about why you wanted to make this merchandise and things like that available to your fans.
I'm not a one-trick pony. I need to get paid. No, I'm playing. No, I'm broke, nigga. No. All jokes aside, no. Well, first, I've been doing clothes longer than I did music. I've always wanted to design clothes since, like, I always just drawn on my shit all the time. So this was something I always wanted to do. And then number two, I got tired of wearing other people's shit. Like, fuck all that. That shit expensive. Shit, if I'm gonna spend some money, like this shirt's from Shein.com. I tell niggas I'm cheap. I just make it look good. So when I invested in myself, it's branding too. It's just smart marketing. Ain't nobody gonna represent me like me. Yeah. So if I want someone to know what's up, they're gonna see it on my chest. And it's like playing the mental game. It's like if I flash something subconsciously instead of throwing it in your face, like Lamentations was made beginning of this year.
I love that song. I love that video. I love that song.
Right. I'm wearing the sweater in there. And I wore it for months. I wore that sweater everywhere I went, any event, any social. Before I even announced there was an album, people just kept seeing the art. That art has been done for 2 years.
Really?
Yeah. If you go through my older posts, before I even started marketing the album, you'll find that artwork. I flashed, now it's here in your head, but I can keep reminding your subconscious, oh, you're gonna keep seeing it. You know what I'm saying? It's little small stuff I like doing like that. So it was like, I may not always be flashing it, but I'm flashing it. So the Lamentation song is for the last album of the year.
Yeah.
So I was telling people ahead of time, be aware. I like doing shit like that. It's the MF Doom in me. So that was one of the reasons, just smart marketing, that's all. Really, and being able to be diverse and being able to, okay, I'm gonna pick up a new skill. Not only is it a side hustle, but it shows how I can sell shit. Being able to sell myself, let me put myself to the test, you know, let me grow as a person.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I mean, if you had the opportunity, I'm not gonna say if you had the opportunity. I mean, what kind of drives you more? Is it the creation of like physical art, fashion, or the creation of music?
Creation of art in general, a little bit of both. Really in the middle, like drives me is like, besides it's therapeutic, it's me being able to like, okay, this is in my head, and I pulled it out and made it physical, and it's exactly how I saw it. That's what drives me the most. It makes me feel like it reinforces that I'm able to turn my dreams to reality in the midst of everything saying I can't. It allows me to challenge myself. So it's more the creation part. It gives me, the ability to formulate my thoughts, because that's how it started for me. I wasn't able to communicate, but I noticed when I wrote on pen and pad, it came out elegantly, slow, precise, very clear to understand, you know? So that it just kind of it's evolved itself into like a snowball effect over time with everything I do. So yeah, it's more the creation of the physical art, taking things out of my head and bringing them to reality. And not only that, being able to portray it and display it to the world in a way that people can understand, or that it interests people, or people can learn from it, or I'm helping somebody. Music helped me. I want to make someone feel how I felt when I was at my lowest and music brought me up.
Yeah.
So more about helping people than anything.
Now I'm gonna say this because I feel like you're introspective and you can actually look at yourself. I think you were describing earlier, you were like, you know, it was difficult for me to connect and relate to a lot of people. And then music helped bridge that gap. And you were like, it was weird, right? Is there ever like you were disconnected from people? Is there, the only thing I can think of is like I had a friend, she lost a lot of weight, and then she was like, Doug, I lost weight and I'm the same person, but now y'all like me. And I gotta be honest, it's weird. I don't like y'all. You know what I mean?
You know what? That's exactly what happened. I was 315 pounds. Now I've always been the same nigga. I was like, fuck y'all. Same people stare at you. Yeah, it's like that. It really is like, yeah. I was like, get away from me. Like I was yeah, it's weird. It really is weird. Did you even finish the question? I'm sorry.
No, that was it. No. You were already elaborating on it. That was it. Because I mean, technically,
I was high. I was pissed. I was like, phony ass man, I done broke bread with you niggas. Like, I'm gonna let it slide. I'm gonna be a good Christian today.
Nah, man.
That's not weird. And it was weird because I was really I would go to work every day. I would create, keep it to myself, and kick it with a handful. Like I like small circles. I believe too many people ruin shit. So, and it caused too much disorientation, you know? I going to shows, and I met B-Val at a show. The same day I lost all my friends, I met them.
Oh, that's
B-Val,
cool.
Bingo, It's like every time I drop an album, my circle changes. I evolve. I promise you, my life, something tragic happens. I lose somebody. When I drop Better Days, my relationship took a toll. And then I got to learn more about myself post-relationship, which made the Vodka Dog album. And then I lost more people. So every time I, when I know something important's happening is when I'm like, I can't hold nothing together. So I got to a point where I get to a point where I'm comfortable doing everything to rebuild, which is why my albums have to be that way, So when I met Val at Houston Indie Fest 3, I think, and I did the open mic, and I met everybody I'm around, like Val, Bingo, and Carter, and I don't know if I met Q that day. I think I did, but if I met Q later, basically that camp, his side of the like the no side shop. I literally, they've been instrumental in helping me. Like I pay attention to how they move. It helped me become more comfortable around other people. Like I used to do a lot of shows with them. So anytime I had a show, I can damn near be sure I'm gonna see them. So it's a familiar face, It's a familiar understanding. And I don't think they're gonna put me in harm's way because these are homies. So I learned how to better socialize and communicate. And I took some L's, I took some awkward things. Like even music taught me how to talk to girls. Like I had to learn how to write those things down and not make it corny. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And it would convey and have game and shit. So hanging around them, I became a better person in the midst of me trying to adjust to people liking me and not being afraid or thinking I'm awkward or trying to have interest in my life. Like I just learned how to respond to compliments by not saying the thank you. Because for years I had the mentality is there's no reward for being great. You're just supposed to. So exceed that.
That's a dope outlet.
Yeah, I mean, it is a dope outlet. It's good that you're, getting around, more people. Like you stated, the less accessible that you are, people respect you. You let them get too close, they're actually prone to, neglect you. But it's good that you're getting out there more so, being able to be around people like B-Val, great people, Godbody Bingo, just getting to know everybody like John fucking Doe and whatnot. We really do want to thank you for coming out or staying in and, hitting us up and being on, in my humble opinion. Now, once again, I've been Avery, like a very nice guy, one of your hosts. That's been Jess Devon, ladies and gentlemen. And we've come with you, we've been with you for this hour with Something Better. There you go. Yeah, Something Better. Now, if you want to be a part of the Humble Hive, you've got to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you very much. In my humble opinion podcast, humbly yours, H-Town. It's too sweet. H-Town's too sweet. Goodbye.